think there's a lot of reluctance that parents, students, the general public have in general toward higher education in terms of seeing it as something that's valuable and still worth, um, continuing to strive for. I know a lot of people who I graduated from high school with that were really, intelligent. And I went to a college preparatory school, and some of them even decided not to go to college, and just based on kind of looking at different figures and talk to their family, and figuring out that some of those other trade um, professions would be better for them. People are a lot more reluctant to go to college. It's expensive. Um, the cost hasn't really stayed on pace in terms of people's wages. People don't see it as useful. A lot of people know people who have master's degrees, PhDs, and they're making pennies. And then you turn around and you know someone who just has a high school diploma, and they make six figures. So it's kind of, those conversations are really hard. But I think that's one of the biggest challenges not even just that, but specifically within the United States. People from across the world will send their kids to go to school here and stuff like that. But I feel like a lot of international parents and students realize that the colleges in their country are good too. So that's, I know we've seen somewhat of a decline in international enrollment. I think that people who are drawn to student affairs have a certain personality type. Good things about them. Like when we do the strengths finders, we find that we all kind of have some of the same strengths. There's a lot of people who are good at planning, good at being relatable. I guess advice that I would give someone entering the field is to try to think outside the box, because what you'll find is so many people that are around you are very similar in their approach, just based on, in terms of how they relate to students. And, if there is something different about you, take advantage of it. And I think another thing, not to get easily discouraged, but just to understand that things take time. It's not the same as corporate America. So sometimes we can come in and see an issue and be like, for certain things it's easy to just fix, but other things they take a long time to, you have to go through processes and meetings and all those things. So I think it's important just not to get discouraged and just understand that as long as you continue to do what's best for students, and then you really won't get frustrated, because you'll be coming from a good place. Pretty much nationwide, enrollment's declining. That's a conversation that pretty much every institution is having at this point. And while that is negative, I feel like the good thing about it is we're able to become more innovative. I feel like we're starting to open up to more change, starting to open up to use technology more, starting to just think outside the box. I personally like that approach to, it is sort of reactive instead of proactive, but it's just the reality. Enrollment's declining. Okay, how do we continue to maintain or even grow in the situation? And I think it opens the door for a lot of innovation and thinking outside the box. I think a lot of colleges are going to become a lot smarter in terms of what they put their money toward in terms of extracurricular activity, which is, a huge part of my job. But even on a larger scale, I think we'll eventually, fewer schools willing to spend, $1 million on a renovation for, the student union or the cafeteria, and just sort of thinking more long term how to save money, or at least, if they are wanting to do those things, making sure that all the money is in the right place before even going forward. Just in order to, keep from having huge budget shortfalls and things like that. We will see a lot of programs disappear. So you'll have a lot of colleges where, something really niche program where it used to be offered at 200 universities. Eventually, it'll get down towards on like 100 or something like that. And then along with that, of course, goes full-time tenured professors, and they might still be able to offer some of those same classes, but have to do it through adjuncts, which will be something to see in terms of the quality of education that we receive. OCU is um, really known as performing arts school, so like the dance school is a really big deal. A lot of theater students come here. Right now, it is performing arts. It's nursing. It's even business in our MBA program. A university that focuses more on um, building up the whole person, which I feel like that gets thrown around a lot in theory, but I don't know if it gets implemented in reality. And the only reason I say that is, I mean, in terms of, you're on a specific course for classes that you have to take, and, you have to do this and do that. There's really not a lot of room for anything outside of that. And I think that'll be important going forward in terms of graduating students that are critical thinkers. Because, like I said, that gets thrown around all the time. But in terms of in reality, I don't know if that happens based on, kind of the way that we're taught as students, the way we're tested, the way, group projects work, just all those things. I don't know if we're really, tapping into each little part. I guess another thing that I'd like to see is just more of an emphasis on people kind of figuring out what they want to do. I know you mentioned you work in career services. Even here, a lot of students don't even think about career services until they're seniors, second semester, and it's really unfortunate. So I think we do students a lot of disservice by not making it something that's a little bit more required. Requiring internships, requiring them to, let's say, do different assessments.